Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Game Develop Repeat. I'm your host, Chris, and today's episode is going to be pretty relaxed, pretty cozy, pretty chill. I'm just going to do a little update in terms of what's going on in my own gaming experiences and what is going on in my game development and the plan moving forward, some changes that I'm going to be making to my lifestyle in order to enable myself to do a bit more, and so on, or at least that is the hope. I'm going to let you know the general plan, the general outline, and maybe it'll give you a chance to check in with yourself too. Maybe it'll make you think, is there anything getting in my way? What is the priority? Is development the priority? So on and so on. This is the perfect time for this for me because I am once again sick. I don't know why this keeps happening. I kind of do know why. First, I got this new construction job where I'm around tons of people, literally a couple hundred people every day, and none of them are particularly worried about the spread of germs. And then once I got over that sickness, I was like, oh, now's a really good time to take a flight up to Boston during flu season and just go to a major city and go to crowded areas and then take a flight home. And then, oh, what do you know? 101-degree fever and a cough and all this stuff. It's like, oh, yeah. Yeah, I wasn't exactly helping my case by just being out in the cold all the time either, was I? Like, dang. Hopefully my constitution stat gets a little bit stronger from doing all this construction work because I am not used to getting this sick this often. I guess when I was a teacher, I got sick pretty bad for most of my student teaching. I had like walking pneumonia. But anyway, perfect time for an update. Let's get after it. I've noticed something recently in terms of the way that I've been playing video games. They're becoming less enjoyable to me right now, and I want to get ahead of that. I don't want that to become an ongoing problem. See, I was really enjoying gaming while I was doing it on Twitch stream. It was really nice because I was bonding with the community. I was learning new things about the games that I was playing. It was excellent. Recently, I've been playing some RPGs, some single player stuff, just in my own time while I'm exhausted from work and haven't been streaming it. I apologize for that, but there's only so much energy that I have in a day for interacting with other people, and my job is surprisingly centered around interacting with other people. It's a significant social drain, oddly enough. But there was only so much fun that I'm having playing these single player games. And I'm reaching this point, which I think maybe some of you have had before, where you get this feeling of obligation to finish a game. And you're kind of just playing it to play it, playing it to beat it, trying to work your way through it, but not really enjoying it. And I've been succumbing to that more. And normally, whenever that would happen, I would binge the game. I would just be like, okay, let's just push all the way through this. Lately, I'm just like, okay, I'll just put it on the back burner. I'll play a little bit whenever I want to. So I'm playing a lot less. And it's all right. It's not that bad. I think I'm having a pretty high threshold for what I find enjoyable right now. I've been playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is supposedly fantastic. A lot of people have said it's really good. There are elements of it that I find really good. There are elements of it that I find absolutely insufferable and can't stand. And unfortunately, I'm pretty focused on the parts that I can't stand right now. I just find some of the characters so annoying. I find some of the story choices really annoying, which is odd, by the way. The game is decent. The game is good. I think they've done it well enough. They've done a good enough job with it, right? But some of the stuff in there just irks me, you know? And that's the main game I've been playing. So my overall experience with gaming has been I'm not really that concerned with it. I'm kind of like, okay, I'm just gaming a little bit on the side. And that's fine, but I worry that I'm extrapolating too much information from that one data point. I'm looking at that. I'm looking at the fact that I'm not totally enjoying playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and I'm going, oh my God, do I not like games anymore? I'm going, what if I don't want to develop games anymore? What if oh no, what if I've lost my passion for this thing that I've been doing since I was 5? I'm just suddenly being very insecure about my enjoyment of video games. And I'm like, dude, relax. You don't have much time for gaming. You're committing it to this one game and you're not loving that one game. That's okay, right? You can play something else that you enjoy, you know? Or you can just not worry about it. Whatever. So that's a weird spot to be at. By the way, I have enjoyed some of these big RPGs. I enjoyed Final Fantasy 16. So far, I've enjoyed the first part of the Final Fantasy 7 remake more than I've enjoyed the second part, just because the second part has things that trigger my like completionist stuff in a really annoying way that I can't get over, which is unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. I think I need to go back to playing some random indie games. I think I have to accept the idea that I may just never finish 7 Rebirth, and I just have to play some weird indie stuff that I can beat in like an hour and a half or 2 hours, and I just got to just play some stuff I love. People have mentioned freaking UFO. What is it? UFO 50? Is that what it's called? I think it's called UFO 50. That was mentioned to me a while back. I got to mess with that. Maybe I got to go in on a Yakuza game at some point. That's not weird indie, but it is weird. I need something that's goofy in a way that I love. I need something that's playful in a way that I love. Some small little fun thing that I can just goof off with. I'm getting annoyed at gaming right now. I don't know why. It's bothering me. I'm not interacting with it in ways that I love. There's something about these big AAA games. Like I jumped back in. I was like, let's play some big AAA stuff. Let's play 7 Remake. Let's play 16. Let's go after these. And I even played, what was it? The Warhammer, what is it called? Warhammer 40K. Jesus, hold on, wait. I'm finding the name. Come on, don't make me edit this. I don't want to edit this. Space Marine 2. There it is. Space Marine 2. I played some of that. That was really cool. But playing these games that are gorgeous and shiny and all this, every little flaw in them bothers me so much more, and it somehow makes me jaded. It somehow gets under my skin. If there's a little flaw in an indie game, I go, oh, that's cute. Oh, okay, they made a little mistake. Oh, there's just a little something. There's just a little something that went wrong. That's nice. That's cute. I like this. What a lovely game. Oops, the writing is a little bit cringe. Oh no, who cares? It's fine. Right? But then if the writing is a little bit cringe in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I like enter a rage. I'm like, they spent so much money on this, they did all this stuff, and they can't even get the writing right. Or if the frame rate is all over the place, I'm like, they can't even get the freaking port right. They added a new patch and it made the frame rate worse. Like, I'll get so mad at it. But if an indie game had the same problem, I would just be like, oh, hopefully they fix that. This game's still really good. Like, I'll give them so much more slack because I know that they didn't have as many resources. And I just go, yeah, okay. And oftentimes it doesn't bother me as much because the how do I put this? The like standard to keep me immersed is a lot lower. Ooh, this is interesting. I need a specific word for this. Okay, so when the fidelity of a game is really high, right? When everything is very realistic, when everything is so smooth, so close to real life, then the moment that something starts breaking and it starts looking less like real life, your immersion gets shattered very quickly, right? But if the fidelity is really low, you can still have the same level of immersion. I actually watched an Annie Austin video about playing Red Dead Redemption 2 on a CRT that kind of touches on this. If the fidelity of the game is very low, you can still feel just as immersed in the game as you do in a really high graphical fidelity game, right? Super Mario Brothers can be just as immersive as the latest Call of Duty game, even though visually they're extremely different. But if the latest Call of Duty game starts lagging out, it has a massive, massive hit on your immersion. If Super Mario Brothers starts lagging out a little bit, you go, oh, a little bit of lag, because it doesn't look like real life. So it's not like shattering that illusion as strongly. It's still an issue for sure. But I feel like because the illusion is built off of things other than how realistic it looks, it doesn't have as big of an impact on the illusion. That's my little pet theory, at least. And that's my theory for why I'm such a little grumpy jerk about AAA games when they start to like have little bugs and crap, because they have such high fidelity. So whenever something starts going wrong, I kind of go, come on, man. God, why, if this was simpler, if this was in 2D, the number of times that I've been playing this freaking 7 remake and going like, why isn't this in 2D? I get so annoyed about it. I know this is like the most old man take. I know I'm being so elderly with this, but when they first announced the Final Fantasy VII remakes, I was like, give me 2D. And now playing it in 3D every once in a while, I'm like, I gotta navigate in 3D. God, this is so annoying. I don't want to navigate in 3D. Fine, I guess I'll navigate in 3D. Also, man, playing this game is taking me forever. This is the problem with having a job where I'm working like 60 hours a week, which brings me to the next big point. I got to cut back on my hours, man. There's no way that I can keep working 60 hours a week at this job and live the life that I want to live and work towards the goals that I want to work towards. It's just not a possibility. And I keep conning myself into continuing doing it. And I need to stop conning myself into continuing doing it, which is a great jumping off point to start talking about where I'm at with game development. It may not surprise you to learn that I have not gotten as much done as I would have liked to in terms of game development ever since getting this new job, because I've been working as many hours as I can, and it has been a bit overwhelming and a bit of a drain on my energy. And I've got some other stuff going on too, of course, like everybody else. That's life. Now, I did have a week where I started getting some stuff done. I started making some momentum. I found myself having a clearer plan for the game that I'm working on than I've ever had before. I wasn't rushed. I wasn't distracted. I was getting a tight structure figured out. I was getting a lot of clarity. I was going, I've got time to work on this. I can be patient. I can make the game that I want to make, and I can take the time that I need because I have that time and I have the money coming in to protect myself and enable myself to work on this over a long period of time. This is exciting. This is beautiful. This is great. So on and so on. And then I think what happened is I got sick, and then I decided to work more hours to make up for the hours that I missed. And then I didn't work on game development, and then I got back in the habit of working more hours, and I kept doing that. And here I am sick again, and I'm not going to try to work more hours to make up for sick hours again. I'm whatever. But I do remember now how it felt working 8-hour days and just coming home, taking care of myself a little bit, working on game development for a couple hours, going to bed, going back to work, so on. It felt amazing. I barely did it. I did it for like 2 or 3 days. And it was exactly what I needed. And so I'm going to return to doing that. Now, the implicit expectation at my job is that you're going to work all the overtime, but you don't have to. And I don't think I'm going to, because I don't want to. If I'm working all the overtime, I'm going to lose a lot as a trade for that. Like I'm going to make more money, but I'm not going to get to work towards things that I love. I'm not going to get to respect my hobbies. I'm not going to get to live a life. I'm just going to be working and sleeping and working and sleeping. I'm just grinding for money and not enjoying the real thing, the game of life, as it were. I'm just focused on the grind and ignoring all the gameplay. So that's what I want to go back to. That's what I want to try again. I want to take another swing at going down to 8 hours a day, 40-hour weeks, use that extra 20 hours towards game development, maybe even just 10 hours, and then use the other 10 from the weekend towards socializing, or use some of it towards lifting weights or whatever else. Things that support my overall enjoyment of life, because life is not just about doing work and making games and playing games and so on. It's about a lot more than that. So I'm trying to respect that. And it's tricky, because I feel like I should take every hour. I feel like I should do everything I can to get ahead in this new job, to keep moving forward, to keep doing this, that, the other. There's a lot of pressure for it. There's a lot of just general feeling of this is what you are doing. You are committed to it fully. Get after it, get after it, get after it. And I'm like, yeah, well, maybe there's something else I love doing, you know? But that's not the easiest thing to convey in the environment that I'm in. Now, the development progress, how do I put this? I'm not inspired right this second to develop only because I haven't touched it in so long, which is really unfortunate. Now, as soon as I touch it again, it's coming back. So I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to go, okay, 8-hour days, start developing, boom, done. And it'll click right back in, and I'll fall back in love with it immediately, and it'll be nice, you know? Or it'll be really a huge struggle, and it'll take me a few days, and then I'll start loving it again then. But I have faith that it's going to be worth doing, and it's going to be enjoyable, and just an overall worthwhile experience. And if that means that I have to make the sacrifice of having people be like, oh, you're only doing 8 hours today? Oh, not doing the full 10, huh? All right, cool. So be it. I want to work on this thing that I enjoy doing. It's going to cost me in terms of like $300 or $400 a week. And then the experience that I could gain every week working as an electrician, that is hard to pass up. But I want to keep trying this. I want to keep making games. And it's worth it to me to keep exploring this, to keep enjoying this, to keep doing something that I can share with the world that I feel like I'm good at. I know that I've only made the one game. I've only made Soot. Well, I played around with a couple other ideas, but I've only released the one game. And I've been doing the podcast and so on, and I did the Twitch stream. But I feel that I have a sense for making a good game. I feel that I have some degree of understanding of it. I feel that I have the skill to do some music and some art and some story and game design and gameplay. I think that I could really get good at this. And I know that I could be really successful as an electrician too. Right? That is clear to me. That is a great career path with a very high paying end. Like it's really nice. But I want to not just give up on game development because I found something that pays well. I'm not going to let go of a major passion in my life that I worked kind of my whole life to discover, right? Like it took me most of my life to discover that I love game development. Now I'm only 32, so most of my life is not that much to somebody who's significantly older than me, but it's still a lot to me, right? I went through music school to discover my love of composing music. That kind of like eventually came through, and then I wanted to do game composition, and then I played with sound design, and then I eventually finally came back to trying to program, and then I was like, oh wait, I can actually kind of do this. And then I just slid into this hole of game development and could not get out of it, and was like, oh, here we go. Before that, I had written a book. I had tried writing a book a couple different times, even as a kid. I had done all of these creative things. And game development was the first time that it all combined together into this one big, beautiful thing that just makes sense to me. And I'm not giving that up. You know? Even if I'm taking it a lot slower, I'm not letting go of that. So what that looks like for me is not taking every available hour, not prioritizing every single dollar that I can make, not pushing really hard to retire early, because I could also do that. I could push really hard to make a lot of money and retire early so that I can then retire and then start working on game development. No, I want to work on game development as I go so I can start developing those skills now. I don't want to start developing those skills in my 50s. I want to start working on them right freaking now. That means a longer time working a day job. That means a longer time working a day job. But I'm not just gonna delay the dream because I enjoy the dream. I enjoy working on it. The dream is not making a living off of game development. The dream is making games, and there's no reason why I can't be doing it right now. I've only got one question for you this week, and maybe it's a good one, maybe it's not, but it's a very simple one. Maybe this is just my sick brain going, I'm ill. I don't want to come up with something specifically inspiring, blah, blah, blah. But the question for you this week is, how's it going, man? How is the game dev journey going? What's your update? Pop into the Discord. Chat it up. Tell us what's going on. What's getting you stuck? What's getting you inspired? What's, the roadblock? What is game development to you? Pop in there. We have a channel that's called Game Dev Updates, something like that. Oh, man. I really should be more prepared sometimes when I'm doing these recordings. Let me get you the exact name of that channel. Notice how I'm speaking with a longer pause so I can find it. It's called Development Check-ins. It's under the Repeat channel. Pop into Development Check-ins and just tell us how it's going. Or do a little journal entry. You don't got to join the community for this. Just, how's it going? How's the game dev going? How's the gaming going? Are you enjoying games right now? Or are they kind of sucking? And if they're sucking, why are they sucking? They shouldn't suck. It's a hobby. It should be enjoyable. Kind of. I feel like hobbies are supposed to suck sometimes. It's part of the journey. Anyway, that is everything that I have for you this week. Thank you, as always, for joining me here. I do appreciate it every time. Look forward to chatting with you. Look forward to having more real updates for you rather than just my general musings on gaming and game development. That's all. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, get out there, make some stuff, and have fun with it. Bye-bye.